Hey guys, Tony here. Back finally to do a recent vinyl editions video. Now, I had the opportunity this morning to do a video. My family is out, and it's rare that I get this opportunity. And I'm so behind on showing stuff that this is going to be a big video, I guess. I'll try and do it as quick as I can. But yeah, I really need to make an effort, like at night, to get on here when everybody's asleep and do a video. But anyway, I had the opportunity now. I got a lot of stuff here to show you, so I'm just going to get down to it. I hope everybody's well. Not a ton of activity in the vinyl community lately. Yeah, I don't know. You know how it is. I've been enjoying Mark Glass Orchid Aftermath, his 30-day vinyl challenge videos. Those are cool. Lord knows I need to do that myself. But anyway, Sugaros. So this is a reissue of their sort of like a twofer. It's two albums, two soundtrack, two LPs. I believe they're both soundtracks to different things. I know this one is a soundtrack to their documentary, Heim, I think, which means home. It's a documentary about them doing concerts in Iceland. And this one I'm not too sure about, but I can't say that this is excellent. I really enjoyed it. I'm glad they reissued it. Sounds pretty good in my opinion. I know there's a lot of complaints about their sound. I mean, it's not the greatest thing I've heard as far as sound quality, but it's still very nice. And this is a classic album, which I never really learned how to pronounce, and I'm not going to try now. But yeah, you know this album, Sugaros. I thank my buddy Dave. Dave's a local guy. I know he's on the Facebook page. He went on a trip and actually found this for me, and really happy to get it. I do have this album on the In a Frozen Sea box set, but still very cool to get the album. It's still in the shrink, but yeah, excellent. I believe that was a Record Store Day reissue. What else? This album is just phenomenal, and I picked this up a little while ago now, and just Opal with Happy Nightmare Baby, and whew, what a great record this is. Indie rock, neo-psych, sort of part of the Paisley Underground, I guess. But man, what a great record. I'm so glad we get this. I think I've seen it one other time and passed on it, but I'm glad I got it now. This is just phenomenal. And I've had it for, I don't know, maybe a month or so now. I've been playing the hell out of it. And like everybody else, I did pick this up, the Zobel album, which Fred Big Star 1000 talked about, and pointed the way to a seller that had a ton of these, still sealed, for like $8 or something, you know. So I know everybody else has shown this and talked about it. Very complicated arrangements, songs. This guy's really showing off his chops. He's like a prodigy. You know, he's like 17 when he recorded this, and it's very sort of avant-garde sounding. Just the compositions are so complicated. So if you like Henry Cow, you'll probably like this. And it's also interesting that, you know, he was related to Bill Graham, the concert promoter, and which is probably how he was able to record this. And he recorded it basically and dropped off the face of the earth. But still, excellent record, and glad to get it. What a talent, you know. Anyway, what else? So I did pick up my first. Actually, I did not have anything by Weather Report, and this is I Sing the Body Electric. This one was in such nice shape, and the price was good, so excellent. Joe Zawinul's band. Wayne Shorter is also in the group. Excellent jazz fusion. And speaking of Joe Zawinul, this album I did not have, and I came across this at a store that I don't usually go to. Zawinul, that'd be a good sleep phase, huh? Zawinul, self-titled promo copy. So white label promo. He's mostly known for playing with, you know, Weather Report, which I don't know if he was the leader of the group, but also with Miles Davis on Bitches Brew in a Silent Way. And In a Silent Way is his composition, which he does on here. And yeah, excellent. Glad to finally get this record. The only other Zawinul I had was a compilation, but yeah, excellent. White label promo, which is cool. This one came in a collection. My local store got in a couple of really cool collections, and I actually left this a few times, and finally I was like, you know, I should get that, and I had them put it aside for me. But Howlin' Wolf. So the Howlin' Wolf album. So this is him doing sort of like, you know, the psychedelic blues, you know, very much like, you know, Electric Mud, that sort of thing, on Cadet Concept. I really enjoy it, and I'm glad to get it. You know, if you're watching my channel, I'm not a big blues guy, but stuff like this I could get into. You know, I love Howlin' Wolf, though. I mean, he's probably you know, the old blues guys. He's probably my favorite. So happy to get this in beautiful shape too. So Lou Barlow, of course, from Dinosaur Jr., Sebadoh. So this is a compilation, Lou Barlow and his Centrido. I don't see a lot of Lou Barlow. I grabbed this. So it's a compilation taken from a number of different recordings of Sub Pop singles and home recordings, things like that. But excellent, you know. I love Lou Barlow. He's like, I don't know, he's one of my favorite things of Dinosaur Jr., really. Rare Bird, the UK sort of prog psych band. This is their third album, Epic Forest. I saw this was cheap on Polydor and grabbed it. I really enjoyed it. Keyboard based prog, early prog, I guess. This is a common record, I guess, but I never see it, so this was in nice shape. Barry McGuire, Eve of Destruction. I always loved that tune since I was like a kid, and the rest of the album's pretty good as well. He does some covers like Dylan, She Belongs to Me. He does Sloop John B on here, but it's a cool record. And on Dunhill, I don't see it too often. And along with that, I did not have this, so I grabbed it. The Birds, Younger Than Yesterday, classic psych folk rock, in beautiful shape, so I grabbed it. What else we got here? Roscoe Mitchell. This one I have to revisit. I can't really say much about it. It's Roscoe Mitchell, of course, mostly known from the Art Ensemble of Chicago. It's Snurdy McGurdy and Her Dancing Shoes. So from 1981. And yeah, I mean, it's free jazz really for the most part, and I enjoyed it, but I definitely gotta revisit it on the Nessa label. Yeah, from 1981, Nessa Records, however you say it. This is a really good, like, instrumental heavy psych album reissue. I believe it was only a private press originally, but Goldenrod. This is really good. I enjoyed this. I sort of took a chance on it, saw it in the store, and it looked cool enough. So, and it's actually really good, instrumental, excellent. Goldenrod. I want to say like 69 or 70. I'm not sure, around there. The last one I needed in the format with Beards reissue, Scott Walker, Scott 3. Excellent. This is right up there with Scott 4. Really enjoyed this, and I don't know why I waited to get this. But yeah, killer. And the last one I needed of the Light in the Attic reissues of Marcos Valle with his self-titled album. Yeah, the last one I needed. It's still in the shrink. It is a gatefold, but excellent. I mean, I'm on an enormous Brazilian kick. I do have a bunch of Brazilian records to show you later here, but this is excellent. And of the four, I mean, the latter two are definitely my favorites. So if you're gonna get any of them, get these two. But these are also excellent. Brazilian pop. Reissue of Alice Coltrane's Huntington Ashram Monastery. Beautiful record. Just a recent reissue. You know, Alice Coltrane is just unbelievable. A great pianist, great, you know, harp. But yeah, harpist, however you. Anyway, don't see this one too often. Really happy to get it. John Fahey's The Yellow Princess. I mean, I personally don't see it, and this one is in just such nice shape. On the Vanguard label. Look at our cover, huh? John Fahey, of course, the, you know, well-known folk guitarist, 12 steel string guitar player. Also did a lot of experimental work. This is a cool record. Glad to get it. A lot of talk about the Mood Records label. I know Dave Fatback Funk showed a few things recently. I saw this a while back and just took a chance on it just based on the players. So this is Martin Colby and Ralph Illenberger with Waves. This is mostly an acoustic. You know, it's a really nice acoustic album. I don't want to call it like sort of acoustic new age, but you know, it's a really nice record. Wolfgang Downer and Eberhard Weber is on it, and of course, you know, Wolfgang Downer plays keys and synths on here. Really nice record, and glad to get it on the Mood record label. I believe it was Wolfgang Downer's label. At least he had a hand in it. But yeah, really nice. This is a classic early electronic, Silver Apples of the Moon by Morton Zabatnik. Really nice electronic record on Nonesuch. I believe it is an original and it's in beautiful shape, so could not leave that. Have another one by him. Also been on a big Anthony Braxton kick, and this is the Montreux Berlin concerts, 2 LPs. Just awesome stuff. He's sort of like at his peak here. Love this. 2 different lineups, really. But yeah, one of them might be the Circle Band. I'm not sure, but it's killer. Let's see. I'll save these 2 for another time. I did finally pick up Cherry Thing, Nina Cherry and the Thing. So sort of a free jazz take on like almost pop music in a way, vocal jazz. Like you know, it's free at times, and I really enjoyed it, to be honest. But I definitely preferred the Fire Orchestra, which also has Mats Gustafsson on there. But this is still really nice, and you know, they do some really cool covers. So happy to get it. Alright, so these next 2, they were $6 a piece. I could not leave them. Giant Crab. Giant Crab comes forth on the Uni label for $6 in beautiful shape. Sort of psychedelic, science fiction sort of thing, you know. Just a really cool record, and glad to get it for $6. And this one as well, in a store I've been trying to go to more. I usually don't go there much, but I've been trying to get to more. It's a little distance away, with the band Zoo. This is like a horn rock band from France. You know, so like I said, it's horn rock, so think Chicago with a harder rock edge, maybe like Chicago crossed with like Grand Funk, you know, like that. Not a bad record at all, and I'm glad to get it for $6. A U.S. press on Mercury. It is a gatefold. And yeah, just really nice shape, and you don't really see this too often, so glad to get it. Let me flip the record. Pardon me a moment. Alright. Also been on an enormous John Coltrane kick, which I mentioned in my last video. Just picking up a lot of Coltrane, and in love with him. I really am. It's just, I'm really excited. There are times when I don't want to hear anything else. So this is later Coltrane, but it's his last band. It's part of the Mastery series or something that MCA Impulse did. It was still sealed, and for $10, I said, what the hell? But yeah, number 1 they do, which I wasn't familiar with, Peace on Earth, Jupiter Variation, and Leo. So this, you know, his last band with Pharoah Sanders, Rashid Ali, Alice Coltrane, and really nice, very avant-garde, of course, but killer. This one I've wanted for a while, and when I do see it, it's usually so expensive, and not the kind of thing I want to spend a ton on either, but T-Rex, Beard of Stars. Beautiful original on Blue Thumb. And yeah, this is so Tyrannosaurus Rex. So they're still sort of like a freak folk sort of duo, but they're definitely headed in a more rock direction here already, and you know, excellent. Really glad to get this finally. I saw this in a store for not too long ago for like $50, and you know, I wasn't gonna pay that. And while I was at it, I also picked up, this is an original, I had the reissue, but Slider by T-Rex. So bought those. Excellent. This was a really nice surprise. Les McCann, Invitation to Openness. So jazz fusion, sort of psychedelic jazz fusion, spiritual, excellent, really, really good. Especially the first side, which is 1 track called The Lovers. Do check that out. Nathan, you have this. I think you would like it quite a bit. You probably have this. It seems like the kind of thing you would have. But yeah, Les McCann. I'm not sure the year, but 72 on Atlantic. Excellent. Here's a cool score. Juicy Lucy. So U.S. press of their debut, Juicy Lucy. Sort of a, blues rock, sort of veering on, I don't know if you want to say veering on progressive rock, but, sort of along those lines. This cover is something very disturbing. And the UK copy, which I believe was on Vertigo, is much nicer. But yeah, this is really disturbing of the fruit. Her picture there, but yeah, really nice, beautiful copy on Atlantic on Atco, and yeah, I really liked it. So from I'm not sure the year, early 70s probably. I'll take it out real quick. It's a gatefold. Yeah, I'm not sure the year, but it's very cool find. I actually have another one by them, but it's the other Morton Subotnick I picked up, the Wild Bull. Love that cover as well. But yeah, also excellent. Early electronic, a composition for electronic music synthesizer by Morton Subotnick. Yeah, here's the back. For $7, in beautiful shape, on Nonesuch. The Fugs, it crawled into my hand, honest. An original, in beautiful shape. So Fugs, psych, folk rock, sort of, sort of zany at times. Also very sort of intelligent at times as well. The Fugs. It's my second Fugs album. And it was just in such nice shape. On the original two-tone Reprise label. So, happy to get that. This one I gotta revisit. To be honest, I listened to it once and I was not crazy about it. And I don't know, it could just be me or the mood I was in, or I don't know. You would think with this lineup that this would just be better, but Charlie Hayden with Liberation Music Orchestra, featuring arrangements by Carla Bley, featuring Gato Barbieri, Don Cherry, Dewey Redman, Roswell Rudd, and Sam Brown on Impulse. It's all based around, I believe, the Spanish Civil War and songs about that from that period, sort of redone, and it's interesting, but I wasn't too crazy about it. I gotta revisit it. It's in really nice shape too, so we'll see. Very cool stuff. Here's a neo psych from the 80s, let's say. I listened to it in the record store and enjoyed it, and I got it home and I realized it was recorded here where I live. So I don't know much about the band, but it was just recorded in my area. But Plan 9 with Frustration. So neo psych garage, really good. I enjoyed it. I mean, it's nothing crazy groundbreaking or anything like that. It's just good psych garage stuff, and love the cover as well. On Vox label. So don't know much else about it, but enjoyed it. Did finally pick up Herbie Hancock's Crossings. I did not have this. Cover's a bit tattered, but the record's nice and great stuff. It was only a couple bucks, so $3. What else? Oh, this is awesome. Bert Jansch with Birthday Blues. I'll pick up anything Bert Jansch. And this is in beautiful shape again on the Reprise label. And yeah, just such nice shape and great folk rock, really. Excellent. What else? Alright, more Coltrane. There's a bunch of Coltrane. So for fans of meditations, or maybe people that don't like meditations, should check this out. This is called First Meditations for Quartet. So this is his famous quartet playing meditations. Pharoah Sanders is not on this, so it's a bit more low-key. So if you like A Love Supreme but not Meditations, give this a try. It's still free, but not quite as free as Meditations as we know it. So yeah, it's pretty easy to get. It's a promo copy and essential listening, very much so. It does not have Father, Son, Holy Ghost. It opens with love and then compassion. Side 2 is joy, consequences, and serenity. Excellent stuff. I mean, replacement copy. This copy was just so mint, I could not leave it. My copy has some wear on it, but the mother is absolutely free. Pristine shape. I mean, absolutely gorgeous. Just has the drill hole here, but other than that, the thing is just beautiful. Could not leave it. It's like unplayed. This one was a surprise on Mainstream Records. I figured this could either be like really lousy and corny, but it turns out it's really good. I did check it out before I bought it. It's very funky. Pete Yellen, It's the Right Thing on Mainstream, an original copy. You know what threw me was You Are the Sunshine of My Life, which it opens with, and even that is really good. So, you know, I just was hoping it would not be cheesy, and it's actually really good. Again, jazz funk. The track Tojo, which is the first track on the second side, is killer. But yeah, Pete Yellen, It's the Right Thing. This is also killer. Turkish Psych, Garage Psych. So it's Turkish, so it has a traditional sort of Turkish sort of flavor to it. But this is just killer. Bunalim, however you say it. Just fantastic Turkish. Great keyboard playing, great fuzz guitar, just monster stuff. And this is, I believe, everything they did from 1970 to 72. Monster record. You check this out. And here's the other Cigaros I had. The new album. Kaivakar? I don't know how the hell you say that. Come on. I don't even want to try. Very good. I enjoyed this. I've listened to it a number of times, and I did get the deluxe edition with the 10-inch. Also came with the promo poster, which I was happy to get. But yeah, I mean, sort of a different direction for them to change up their sound a bit. Maybe a bit more dark, more straight ahead, but yeah, excellent. They reissued this, and I'm glad to get it. Umberto with Prophecy of the Black Widow. I did miss out on when it was first pressed. So again, sort of horror soundtracky, electronic, Italian prog electronic, John Carpenter influenced, and you know, he tries to really make this sound like of the 70s, early 80s or something. You know, it's just the style of recording, sort of raw, but still excellent. Glad to finally get this. Just become a big fan of this guy. So I just saw Nathan show this, and yeah, Bert and John. So this is the album in the UK called Bert and John. In the US, it was released as Stepping Stone. So Bert Jansch and John Reddenborn, excellent folk rock record. Just really damn good, and glad to get it. Just trying to move quick here. Got to do a big thank you to David. So David Nixon's Dicks contacted me about this record and asked me if I'd be interested in a trade. And thank you so much, man. I'm so happy to get this. I'm a big fan of this band. So he said he wasn't too into it, and he'd send this to me, and I would just send him something interesting. I hope you're happy with the trade. I hope you like the record. He sent me Faust Rhine. So this is Faust, their first release after they sort of came back. You know what I mean? And it's just a plain silver cover. It's blank. But yes, their first thing back. It was produced and mixed by Jim O'Rourke. It just has this for the on the cover. So yeah, produced and mixed by Jim O'Rourke. Of course, very experimental, electronic, drone. A lot of drone on here, and it's killer. I love Faust. I mean, talk about a band that was able to come back, and their releases as of now are all really good. At least the ones I've heard. There's a couple I haven't heard since they've sort of come back, but the ones I do have, I love. So yeah, give Faust a chance if you haven't. Besides their classic period stuff. Anyway, if I could get this back in the sleeve. So David, thanks again, man. Really awesome. Don't see that one too often. So this one is Praxis. So this is Bill Laswell, sort of an album by Bill Laswell. I think it morphed into a group, but this is just sort of DMX, turntable, records, tape, shortwave radio. I guess that was all that was used to record this, and it's actually really, really good. I gotta say, Bill Laswell is just so all over the place. Stylistically, he does so much stuff, it's hard to keep up. But this is just really good, and for $6, really enjoyed it. Another replacement copy here. I've had this album for a while. My copy is nice, just had some wear, but McDonald and Giles with Giles, their self-titled promo copy, U.S. Press, beautiful copy. So just sort of to replace my other one, which has some wear, little like nick on the cover as well, but this one is just beautiful. White label promo on Cotillion. Was not going to leave that in the store. Getting down to the last few here. Another long time want, Lumpy Gravy by Frank Zappa. So officially Frank Zappa's first solo release. Recorded, I believe, right around the time of Freak Out. He conducted and wrote a piece for orchestra. It was going to be for another label. The stipulation was he wasn't actually playing on the record. But when Verve MGM found out, they filed suit. He took what he recorded, chopped it up, and turned it into this sort of music concrete thing. And that's how we get Lumpy Gravy. And this is the Zappa I love. So part of the No Commercial Potential series, really, which, with part of We're Only In It For The Money and Cruising with Ruben and the Jets. So is this phase 2 of We're Only In It For The Money? But yeah, Lumpy Gravy. Excellent. This one came into the local store, could not leave it. Sun Ra with Atlantis. Beautiful copy of this. Love that cover. The reissue on Impulse. I believe this is pretty earlier Sun Ra, but re-released sometime probably in the 70s on Impulse. Sun Ra, recorded in 1960, so not that early. But anyway, originally released on Saturn. Excellent. Really happy to get that, and it's just beautiful. This one has become somewhat of a grail for me, because you just could not get it. Any reissue, and originals, forget about it. But any reissue is just like impossible. This is a reissue. I'm not even sure it's official, but I'm really glad to finally get this record because I've been after it for a while. Jackson C. Frank, his self-titled album. What a great record this is, man. Oof. Great folk album. Really sad story about this guy. Recorded this is his only album. Great singer, songwriter. He was in a fire as a child in school, and half of his class perished. And he was badly burned, and that sort of affected him his whole life. He had really bad stage fright. This is all he did. Produced by Paul Simon. Never released in the States, only in the UK. Recorded in the UK, which, excellent stuff. The Blues Run the Game, that's probably the most famous track on here, but also Milk and Honey, also a great song. The whole album's beautiful folk singer-songwriter stuff. I'm really glad to finally get this. This one was a hell of a score, I gotta say, and this album is phenomenal. John McLaughlin, so Where Fortune Smiles. So he was not the leader of this date, but man, this is just killer. I think it was later re-released as him leader, but this is an original UK pressing. Carl Berger, Dave Holland, John McLaughlin, Stu Martin, and John Sherman. What a fantastic record this is. Beautiful cover. Found this for a really good price. And is an original on the Dawn label. I'll show you the label. Also has the poster. Really happy to get this one, man. But yeah, on the Dawn label, UK Press. Love that label, huh? So yeah, really happy to get this one. Fantastic. Some more Coltrane, Africa Brass. This is a reissue. The cover's got some wear, but it was like $6, so not complaining. Fantastic stuff, which I did not have. So, this one, again, don't see too often. Donald Byrd, New Perspective, second press, so not an original, but still, you just never see this album. Love that cover. And yeah, Donald Byrd band with voices, it's still really, really good, so happy to get it. Fantastic. Here's one I've had for a while, and I might as well show it now, but Autechre with Overstep from 2010. 2 LPs, it's in a beautiful box. Looks like 3, but the third cover is holding like the poster. So IDM, fantastic. It's varies throughout, stays interesting, really well done, and the price was right, so happy to get that. Another Coltrane, which I was just talking about how much I wanted an original of this, and a really nice Psych collection came into my local store, and I probably missed out on a couple cool pieces because I really wanted this. An original stereo pressing of A Love Supreme. Beautiful copy, not near mint, but still really nice, and the price was really good, so, but yeah, on impulse. I'll show you the label. So yeah, fantastic. I was thinking it might be, I don't know, I'm not going to speculate. Anyway, beautiful copy, classic record, nothing needs to be said here, just really glad to get that. Anthony Braxton, again, his first release, Anthony Braxton, 3 compositions for New Jazz. So, still Anthony Braxton, still excellent, but it's not quite as good as what came after, like For Alto after this, and so forth, but still, it's like he's just sort of getting his footing, really, and it's still excellent. On Delmark, an original, beautiful shape, never see this, so happy to get it. This one too, wow, what a great record. On ECM, the Stanley Caldwell Trio, Illusion Suite. What a great album. I mean, I never see this one, and I saw it and said, take a chance, and this is just killer. Fantastic. Stanley Caldwell, of course, plays the keys, piano, and monster. Who else is on here? Stanley Clarke and Jimmy Hops. If you see this, get it. If you like jazz, at least. This is phenomenal. Hope that isn't too loud. One last Coltrane, and then we'll get into some Brazilian finds, and then we'll end this video. Did not have this. Long time want. I was almost going to buy the reissue. Came across this for dirt cheap. An original copy of Coltrane Live at the Village Vanguard again. Beautiful copy. Of course, again, this is his last band with Pharoah, Alice, Rashid Ali, and they do my favorite things, very much, free jazz, and it's just monster. Pharoah Sanders really shines on this recording. But yeah, it is an original, and just such a nice shape. I'm really happy to get this. Monster. Like I said, I've been filling out the Coltrane. I actually have more that, Alright, so, YouTuber, Facebook user, Neilio Rodriguez. He contacted me and asked me if I was interested in doing a trade with him for Brazilian stuff. He lives in Brazil for some sort of American Psych. Album's over, but for American Psych. And he sent me a package. I sent him one. He's still waiting for his. He sent his a little before I sent mine. But anyway, he sent me some records. Phenomenal stuff. And there are 2 Brazilian records here that I bought. Like I said, I've been on just a huge Brazilian kick. This is the one record I have not listened to yet, but Gilberto Gil, Human Race, from, I don't know, I want to say the early 80s or so. He recommended this. I've not listened to it yet. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm sure it's great. Love Gilberto Gil, so happy to get that one. Let's see what else. This one here is phenomenal. Beautiful record. Very subtle, low-key, but beautiful. With Caetano Veloso, with Muto, something like that, An original Brazilian press, of course, on Philips. What a beautiful record, man. Just, again, low-key, excellent, so awesome. Now, these 2 are the 2 from that he sent me that I really have been obsessed with and love them, but Milton Nascimento with Minas. What a record, man. Again, love Milton Nascimento. Love this cover. Like, this has this sheen to it. It's just beautiful, huh? Yeah, fantastic Brazilian pop. You know how it is. If you listen to this stuff, this is just killer. I'm really happy to get this one. But this one, this is my favorite out of the bunch so far. And this is just monster. This guy played with Milton Nascimento, part of the Clube de Esquina scene, that sort of movement, and a guitarist. This is very much a Brazilian pop record, but definitely has elements of prog rock to it. This is just so beautiful, so soulful. I'm in love with this record. But this is Beto Gages with I'm not going to try to pronounce the title. Something to do with a page of. He gave me the translation. I forget now. Something with a page of lightning, electricity, something. But this record is phenomenal. Really in love with it. I've played it so many times now. Beautiful copy, Emilio. Thank you so much. Do check this record out. If you don't know it, if you like Brazilian music, this is monster. Really is. And this is the inner sleeve. He played on the album Clube de Esquina. There's the label, an original on what is this? EMI. I can't really see, but anyway, excellent. Thank you so much, Emilio. And for the last two sort of Brazilian grails for me as well. Wow, I feel like lucky just to have these for the price that I got them for and the condition that they're in. Now this first one here is probably like one of the greatest Brazilian albums. It is, period. Just one of the greatest albums, period. This is just phenomenal. But this is Os Novos Pianos with Acabou Choreri, something like that. An original on Som Livre. Wow, what a great record this is. So think of Brazilian pop with a psychedelic rock element to it. Bossa Nova element, of course. I believe these guys were very much influenced by João Gilberto, who I believe was sort of a mentor to them as well. But this is such a great record, and it's in gorgeous shape. I scored it for a fantastic price, so I've been after this for a little while now, and still has the sort of the little page booklet thing. I believe it's only like a page or two pages. But yeah, Brazilian pressing in just beautiful shape. There's nothing wrong with it at all. And here's the label. Yeah, and finally for the last one here, another album I've been after forever, and you don't see it. And this came up on Discogs. The price was just so good, you know, and the seller hadn't sold anything yet, so I was a little bit like, you know. But the price was so good, I figured I'm going to take a chance, and boy, did this pay off. He said he bought it from Brazil. He was in Brazil. He bought it from the original buyer of this album, Gilberto Gil, his self-titled album from 1968, his second album, an original copy of it, Brazilian press. Just don't see this album ever, so happy to get it. What's remarkable, like his first album, which I have, the cover is really just a piece of paper that opens up, like really super thin cardboard. And then there's the cover, which is just paper here, and again, it's just remarkable how nice this is, considering. The only thing, somebody wrote their name on the back, but other than that, the record is like pristine almost. I mean, I've gotten lucky with my Brazilian finds and their condition, I gotta say. An original Philips, so Tropicalia Classic, really happy to get that. Anyway, I know it's a lot of stuff, I know it's a long video, but I don't make videos too often, so, and I like to think the quality of what I show makes up for it. Anyway, I better stop now. Sorry I look so disheveled. Leave me comments. Thank you for watching, as always.